Hello students, we are on chapter 10, that is the last most chapter of our syllabus, that is chapter number 10, Foreign Trade of India. So friends, today we will discuss about the foreign trade of India. But before starting with the foreign trade of India, let us understand what this trade means. Trade is nothing but it's buying and selling of goods and services. When goods and services are bought and sold, is said to be a trade. What does foreign trade means? Friends, foreign trade means when one or more countries comes into the exchange of goods and service, like a country China and the other country India, when they are dealing with exporting and importing of goods and service to each other, is said to not only to each other but to them or to the other countries, is said to be a foreign trade. So let's discuss about the introduction of foreign trade. Even before independence, the government of India maintained semi-autonomous diplomatic relations. Before independence, the government of India was maintaining semi-autonomous diplomatic relation. India was a supplier of raw material to the industrialized nation and particularly England importer of manufactured goods. So India used to do supply. India used to supply of raw material to industrialized nation, the nation which have industrialized, and particularly England and and the importer of manufacturing goods. This independence of foreign trade did not permit industrialization at home. So, as a result, ingenious handicrafts suffer as several below. However, you understand the countries that won independence in the past World War II period viewed the foreign trade as an investment. Now, let us understand the meaning of internal trade. Word internal and the trade. As I have told you right now, that trade means buying and selling of goods and services. Internal trade means the word internal means the trading has been done within the boundaries, within the geographical boundaries of a country. So, internal trade is where buying and selling of goods and services are done within the boundaries of a nation are referred to be an internal trade, domestic trade or home trade. Once again friends, when buying and selling of goods and services are done done within the national geographical boundaries are known to be an internal trade or domestic trade or home trade. Domestic and home trade because it has been done within the geographical boundaries and these countries are hometown, so it would be a home trade. Let us understand the example. Suppose, for example, cotton producing in Maharashtra. If cottons are produced in Maharashtra and sold out like West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, etc., is said to be an internal trade. One more time, we can say or more example like Punjab producing wheat because Punjab where wheat is been Punjab climate support for the wheat cultivation. So when where the Punjab is producing wheat and selling those wheat to Maharashtra or Tamil Nadu or West Bengal, so it is an internal trade because it is done within the geographical boundaries of the nation, whereas Punjab, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal all comes in the within the boundaries of our nation. We are all the states of our country. So this is said to be an internal trade. Let us understand the types of foreign trade. Basically, there are the three types of foreign trade. Let's see them one by one. The very first one is import. Next one is export. And the last one is interport. Yes, friends, there are three types of foreign trade: import, export, and interport. What does import means? What does export means? And what does interport means? We are going to see in detail. Let us discuss what does import means. Import means when our country India is bringing the goods from the foreign country is said to be an import. For example, import trade refers to the purchase of goods and service from one country from the another country. Once again, purchase of goods of service in one country from the another country. The inflow of goods and service coming from the other country to our own country is said to be an import. For example, here the Saudi Arab, Iraq and the UAE, they are they are producing more of dates. Just in Hindi we say has khajur. So if we are bringing those dates from Saudi Arabia, this is the different country, to our own country, that is India, so it would be said to as importing of goods, importing of dates. One more example, India import petroleum from Iraq, Saudi Arabia, etc. So India is what doing? It is importing from oil, petrol from them. So when we are bringing the goods and service, when we are bringing goods and service from the other country to our own country, that is known as import. In simple words, we can say that goods brought from one country to our own country is said to be an import. Let us understand export. When we are exporting goods, whatever goods we are producing is sold out to the different country or sales to the different country or another country is said to be an export. Export refers to the sale of goods by one country to the another country, or we can say outflow of goods of one country to the foreign country. Outflow of goods, friends. In import, the goods were inflowing. In export, the goods are outflowing. For example, India export tea, jute, rice to China, Hong Kong and Singapore. So the tea, rice, jute, we are very much famous in producing all this. Our land, our soil, our climate is supporting for production of jute, tea, rice. So what we are doing for earning the foreign currency, we are exporting goods to the foreign countries like China, Hong Kong, Singapore, etc. So this is said to be an export. Let us understand interport. Interport refers to purchase of goods and service from one country and then selling them to another country after some process. For example, Japan import raw material from to make electronic goods like radio, washing machine, television, etc. from England, Germany, France, and sell them after doing certain kinds of processing on them and selling them to another country after processing is known as interport. Once again, friends, for example, Japan will import raw material required for making electronic products like radio, televisions, washing machine, etc. After importing those raw material, it will process it in the some other thing, and then it will sell those goods which are imported after processing on it and giving to the other foreign country. Selling to the other foreign country is known as interport. After understanding the types of foreign trade, let us understand the role of foreign trade in a country. The trade is engine and the growth of economy. Without trade, it becomes difficult. Uh, uh, Trade helps for the making our wheel of our economic to move smoothly because it plays very important role in economic development. In developing countries, represent significant shares of GDP, that is gross domestic product. The role of foreign trade can be justified on the basis of to earn foreign exchange, Due to the foreign trade, when one country is exchanging their good to the other country or exporting or importing to the other country, especially when we are exporting to the other country, we will earn a foreign currency. So foreign trade helps us to earn foreign currency. Foreign trade provides foreign exchange, which can be used for every productive purpose. Foreign trade is a remarkable factor in the expanding the market and encouraging the production of goods. So let me tell you friends, foreign trade helps in earning foreign exchange, foreign currencies. The foreign trade provides the exchange which can be used for every productive purpose. It can be used for any kind of productive purpose, and it is remarkable factors for expanding the market and encouraging. It is remarkable factors for expanding and encouraging the production of goods. So first one was to earn foreign currency. The next one is investment. It encourages investment. Foreign trade creates an opportunity for the producer to reach beyond the domestic market. It encourages them to produce goods for export. So it encourages the investment, and this leads to increase the total investment in our economy. So once again friends, the first one was to create, to earn foreign currency. Now it is encourage investment. Foreign trade creates an opportunity for production of those goods, to produce those goods by the producer, so that they can export those goods, the country those who are needed, so they can go beyond the domestic market. So this leads to an increase in the investment in the economy. The next one is division of labor and specialization. Division of labor, when work is arranged so that individual work do a favor task than before. The division of labor means the work should be arranged in such that the labor which are high priority, the labor with the low, and the labor with the very low priority, the task which the higher priority labor can do should be allotted to them, then the medium priority labor, then the lower priority labor, or else you can say the labor who is specialized in doing that particular amount of that particular work should be assigned to that. So it is also known as specialization. When the factors of production to perform a task, they can do a relative more efficient than the others. Foreign trade leads to the division of labor and specialization at the world level, because there are some countries who are expert or who are specialized in producing that particular commodity, and there are some countries who are not specialized in that particular commodity. The country who is specialized in that commodity can be exported goods from them, or can be imported goods from them. So some countries have abundant natures of resource. They should be export of raw material, import of finished goods from the country which are advanced skilled of manpower. Thus, foreign trade gives all the country thereby the leading division of labor and specialization. Once again friends, in the role of foreign trade, the first one was to earn foreign currency, then encourage investment, then the third one was division of labor and specialization. Because of foreign trade, the availability of multiple choices are available. The country who is not having certain resource can have a choice to import from the other country, and it helps gives a multiple choice important choices for the commodities, as foreign trade is the highly competitive. It is also ensure goods, quality and standard product. As I have told you, the foreign trade is highly competitive. It ensures good quality and standard product. This rise standard of living of the people. Obviously, when the people who will uh, consume the goods or take the goods of the good quality and standard product, automatically the standard of living of that people or that particular country will increase. The next one is bringing reputation and help to earn goodwill. It brings reputation and helps to bring goodwill. Exporting countries can earn reputation and goods in the international market. The countries who are exporting can earn reputation because these are the countries from the goods which are exported. For example, countries like Japan, Germany, Switzerland, etc. have earned lot of goodwill reputation in the foreign market for the qualitative product of electronic goods. Once again, the countries like Japan, Germany, Switzerland have earned lot of goodwill and reputation for a in the foreign market in the quality of production of electronic goods. The next one is optimum allocation and utilization of resource. Friends, this word allocation and utilization of resource we are listening and studying from the 11th standard. The optimum allocation of resource and optimum allocation and utilization of resource. Allocation means the best way to find out the thing which product, which quality or commodity or quantity is the best to suit to bring up the best. And the utilization is the no resource should be wasted. It should be utilized in such a way that it will bring a maximum the fruitful profit out of it. So due to the specialization and resource channelized for the production of only those goods which would be highest rated. Now, due to this specialization, there are the countries who are specialized in producing some commodities, and there are the countries those resources are available over there only. So it becomes easier to channelize the production. Which country will give us the goods that will give a highest return? So there is the rational allocation and specialization of resource in international level due to the foreign trade. So optimum allocation and utilization of resource plays very important role in foreign trade. As for example, the India, especially in India, Maharashtra, Nagpur, the oranges are very famous. Our climate support cultivating oranges for production of oranges. So there are the countries where the climate does not support for producing oranges. So it would be exported from our country to the countries where they are not producing. So they will see which quality, which will give it highest return on bringing the import of those countries. So due to specialization of resource, channelizing for the production of one of those which gives in highest return. For example, Japan, as I have told you, Japan is the country who is very much famous in interport. That means Japan will take raw material from the France, the other countries and do some process on it, and then it will export it back. Same way, what it does, it will allocate the resource to which country will give the best the best return of raw materials so that the in lowest price he can bring, and he can do some that country can do some process and export to the other country. Stability in price level. Stability in price level also plays very important role, friends. Foreign trade helps to keep demand and supply of the position stable, which in turn stabilize the price level in the economy. The average level of price of economic should neither be high neither be decreasing. It should neither be increasing, it should neither be decreasing. It should be a stable price. So these were our certain roles of foreign trade. The first one was the earning foreign exchange, encourage investment, division of labor and specialization, availability of choices, allocation of resource, brings reputation and help to earn, allocation of a resource and utilization of resource, and stability of price. These were certain of the roles that play in foreign trade. Now we will see the next topic. The last topic of this chapter is composition and direction of Indian foreign trade. Now, over the last 70s, Indian foreign trade has gone up to a complete change in the term of composition and direction. The main features of composition of Indian foreign trade are as follows. Increased gross national income. As the foreign trade increases, our gross national income has also brought a lot of change. It has increased due to increase in gross national income. Our standard of living, our standard of living, our country economic development as well as our country economic growth has changed. So in 90s and 1991, share of Indian foreign trade, import and export in gross national income was 17.55%, but it has increased to 25% during 2006 and 7 and 48.8% during 2016 and 17, and I would like to say you due to COVID it has gone down also, friends. So in 90s 91, the share of foreign trade in export and import, the gross national income was 17.55% and it was increased by 25% in 2006 and 7, and in 2016 and 17 it was 48.8%. Increase in the volume of trade. Since 90s and 91, the volume of trade in India in foreign trade has gone up. India now export and import goods which are several times more in value and volume. The next one is change in composition of export. Since independence, the composition of export trade of India has undergone a change. Prior to before independence, India used to export primary products like jute, cotton, oil, seeds, tea, leather, food grain, cashew nut, mineral food, etc. With the passing of time, the manufacturing items like ready-made garments, jewelry, electronic goods, especially computer, hardware, software company, occupies a primary place in India export. Once again, in the changes, some of the features for the composition were: first was increase in GNI, next was increase in the volume and the value. The third one is change in the composition of export. Since independence, the composition of export trade, India has undergone a change. Before independence, like tea, coffee, oil seeds, leather, cashew nuts, mineral products were being exported. But as time passes, now the jewelries, garments, electronic goods, especially computer hardware, software are the primary place in Indian exports. You can see a diagram where merchandise breakup, agriculture, chemical, engineering goods, textile, petroleum products, or ocean trade. Most of the India now trade by ocean. India has a trade relation with neighboring countries like Nepal, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka. Though this shares of India ocean trade is around 68%. So the ocean trade has also increased. The neighboring countries like Nepal, China, Australia have a good relation with them. So the ocean trade has also been increased to 68%, friends. Developing new ports. Foreign trade, India depends mostly on Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai ports. Therefore, the ports were overburdened. Recently, India has developed new ports in Kandla, Cochin, Visakhapatnam, Nhava Sheva, etc. to reduce the burden on the non-exporting ports. As I have told you, development of new ports like Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai were the main ports. But due to the overburden of that, now it has been shifted to the Cochin, Visakhapatnam, Kandla, Navaseva, etc. So here we end up with the composition and direction of India. Let's see some of the tabular form of the changes in composition. Petroleum, oil and lubricant in 1956. In 1956 and 2015 and 16 and 2016 and 17, it was 21.8% and now it is 22.6%. Electronic goods, it was 10.5%. Now it has 10.9%. From 0.4% it has increased. Petroleum and precious stone 5.3 to 6.2. Same way the fertilizer and grain has also increased. The ready-made garment 6.9% to 6.3% it has reduced. Iron core it was 0, now it is 0.5%. Cotton yarn 3.4 to 3.1. The leather manufacturing 22.1 to 9.1. Petroleum product 11.9 to 11.11. 23% to 23.7% in engineering goods. Let's discuss about the direction of Indian foreign trade. Direction of foreign trade means the country from where we are exporting goods and the country from whom we are importing goods and services. Once again, direction of foreign trade means the countries to which India exports its goods and service and the countries from which India imports the goods and service. The direction consists of the direct distinctions of export source for imports. Prior to independence, India trade was done with Britain. Before independence, used to hold the first position for India's foreign trade. However, the independence new trade relation many countries was established. Now, USA has emerged the leading trade pattern following by German, Japan, United Kingdom. Once again, friends, direction of Indian foreign trade means to country from whom we are to whom we are exporting and from whom we are importing goods. Before independence, the Britain was the Britishers were the one from whom we were to whom we were importing goods. So we were supposed to be the first position in India's foreign trade. After independence, the relation has emerged. The USA has emerged to the leading traders partner by Japan, government of Japan, United Kingdoms. Here we end with the chapter, the direction to Indian foreign trade and also with the topic direction to Indian foreign trade and also with the chapter foreign trade in India. Once again, a small revision. Trade means buying and selling of goods and service. Foreign trade means when two countries are involving for exchanging their goods and service is foreign trade. One country is importing, the other country is exporting. Then we have seen the internal trade. Internal trade means the trade which has been done within the territory boundaries of a country, which is also known as domestic trade, also known as the home trade or internal trade. Then we have seen the types of foreign trade. There are three types: the export, import, and interport. Export means to goods to whom we are the goods are outflowing. Import means goods are inflowing from the other country. Interports means when goods are in inflow, then process out, then with our stamp and things we are exporting. Then we have seen the role of foreign trade in our country. It plays very important role. It has it helps in the earning foreign currency, encourage investment, division of labor and specialization, optimum allocation and utilization of resource, stable price, availability of multiple users, choices, bringing reputations. Then we have seen direction and composition of foreign trade. Here we end with our syllabus as well as this chapter. Thank you, friends.
ट्रेड के बारे में और क्या डायरेक्शन एंड कंपोजिशन है फॉरेन ट्रेड का ऑफ इंडिया, उसे भी देखेंगे। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। तो सबसे पहले हम फॉरेन ट्रेड का मतलब समझते हैं। अगर आपको फॉरेन ट्रेड का मतलब समझना है तो इसके लिए आपको सबसे पहले समझना पड़ेगा ट्रेड क्या चीज़ है। जब हम गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज को एक्सचेंज करते हैं एक दूसरे से विद द मीडियम ऑफ मनी, तब हम उसे कहते हैं ट्रेड। अब देखिए, यही ट्रेड जब इंटरनेशनली होने लगे, मतलब सपोज इंडिया और चाइना ने ट्रेड करना शुरू कर दिया या फिर इंडिया और यूएसए ने ट्रेड करना शुरू कर दिया, तब हम उसे कहते हैं फॉरेन ट्रेड। अब देखिए, फॉरेन ट्रेड पे इंडिविजुअल भी इन्वॉल्व हो सकता है, गवर्नमेंट भी इन्वॉल्व हो सकता है। सपोज कोई एक कंपनी है जो कि रिलायंस है, वो किसी यूएसए की कंपनी के साथ ट्रेड कर रहा है, जैसे कि गूगल, या फिर जब गवर्नमेंट टू गवर्नमेंट भी जब ट्रेड होता है तब हम उसे कहेंगे फॉरेन ट्रेड। तो फॉरेन ट्रेड को समझने के बाद अब हम समझते हैं फॉरेन ट्रेड्स का दो टर्म जो कि हर जगह में इस्तेमाल किया जाता है जब भी हम फॉरेन ट्रेड्स को पढ़ते हैं। तो देखिए, पहला है इंपोर्ट और दूसरा है एक्सपोर्ट। तो इंपोर्ट एक ऐसा सिचुएशन है जब हम किसी कंट्री से कुछ सामान मंगा रहे होते हैं अपने कंट्री में, तब हम उसे कहते हैं इंपोर्ट। और जब अपने कंट्री का कोई सामान हम दूसरे कंट्री को सेल कर रहे होते हैं तब हम उसे कहते हैं एक्सपोर्ट। सपोज मैं एक एग्जांपल के साथ समझाता हूँ आपको। सपोज एक ओप्पो का फ़ोन है जो कि हम चाइना से इंडिया में मंगाते हैं, तो इसे कहते हैं हम इंपोर्ट। वही पे अगर हम अपने कॉटन्स को जो कि हाई क्वालिटी का है चाइना को एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं, तब हम उसे कहेंगे एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं हम। ठीक है, अब देखिए, फॉरेन ट्रेड को हम डिटेल में समझने के बाद अब हम समझ लेते हैं डायरेक्शन एंड कंपोजिशन ऑफ फॉरेन ट्रेड के बारे में। ठीक है, देखिए, डायरेक्शन एंड कंपोजिशन को पहले मैं इंडिविजुअली उसका मीनिंग बता देता हूँ आपको, क्योंकि अगर आप डायरेक्शन एंड कंपोजिशन को नहीं समझ के आप उसके पॉइंट्स को पढ़ने जाएंगे ना, तब आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा। तो बहुत जरूरी है हमें जानना एग्जैक्ट मीनिंग क्या है डायरेक्शन एंड कंपोजिशन ऑफ फॉरेन ट्रेड। अगर हम इसे समझ जाएंगे तो हम आसानी से इसके पॉइंट जो होगा आगे उसे हम इजीली अंडरस्टैंड कर पाएंगे। ठीक है, तो देखिए, डायरेक्शन एंड कंपोजिशन को हम एक एग्जांपल के साथ समझेंगे। ठीक है, सपोज आप एज्यूम कीजिए अपने आप को कि आप एक इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट है। ठीक है, और आपको आपका इंडस्ट्रीज को चलाने के लिए सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट जो दो चीज़ चाहिए होगा, एक है मार्केट और दूसरा है रॉ मटेरियल। ठीक है, तो उसी तरीके से एक कंट्री को भी फॉरेन ट्रेड करने के लिए दो चीज़ चाहिए होता है, एक होता है डायरेक्शन ऑफ फॉरेन ट्रेड और एक होता है कंपोजिशन ऑफ फॉरेन ट्रेड। जैसे कि मार्केट में हम डील करेंगे अपने कस्टमर्स के साथ और अपने सप्लायर्स के साथ। कस्टमर्स माने जिन्हें हम अपने सामान को सेल करेंगे, और सप्लायर जो जिससे हम सामान लेंगे। डायरेक्शन ऑफ ट्रेड में हम अपने ट्रेडिंग पार्टनर्स के साथ डील कर रहे होते हैं और हमारा रिलेशनशिप देखा जाता है कैसा है। जैसे कि इंडिया और चाइना का ट्रेड रिलेशनशिप कैसा है, उसे हम देखते हैं डायरेक्शन ऑफ ट्रेड में। उसके बाद इंडिया और यूएसए का रिलेशनशिप कैसा है, या फिर इंडिया और यूरोपियन कंट्रीज के साथ कैसा ट्रेड रिलेशनशिप है, उन सबको जब हम स्टडी करते हैं तब हम डायरेक्शन ऑफ ट्रेड में स्टडी करते हैं। फिर हम आ जाते हैं रॉ मटेरियल या फिर आप कह लीजिए कंपोजिशन ऑफ ट्रेड के बारे में। ठीक है, अब देखिए, कंपोजिशन ऑफ ट्रेड में क्या क्या सामान का हम ट्रेड करते हैं उन सबको उसके अंदर में कैटेगराइज किया जाता है। ठीक है, सपोज इंडिया क्या क्या चीज़ एक्सपोर्ट करता है, जैसे कि इंडिया का क्या खासियत है, हम अपने रॉ मटेरियल्स का एक्सपोर्ट ज़्यादा करते हैं। वहीं पे हम टेक्नोलॉजी को इंपोर्ट करते हैं, क्योंकि हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजिकल अपग्रेडेशन नहीं है, तो हम दूसरे कंट्री से टेक्नोलॉजी अपने कंट्री में मंगा के हम यूज़ करते हैं। ठीक है, तो ये है एक सिंपल सा और आसान सा मीनिंग डायरेक्शन एंड कंपोजिशन ऑफ ट्रेड। उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आपको अभी मीनिंग समझ में आ गया होगा। तो चलिए अब हम बढ़ते हैं एक पॉइंट वाइज समझने के लिए डायरेक्शन एंड कंपोजिशन को। तो सबसे पहले मैं स्टार्ट करता हूँ डायरेक्शन से। इंडिपेंडेंस से पहले हमारा जो फॉरेन ट्रेड था वो काफी लिमिटेड था। हमारा जो मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द फॉरेन ट्रेड होता था वो होता था यूके, यूएस और कॉमनवेल्थ कंट्रीज के साथ। ऐसा क्यों था? क्योंकि उस समय हम ब्रिटिश राज्य के अंदर में थे, बट जैसे ही हमें आज़ादी मिलता है हमने अपना फॉरेन ट्रेड को काफ़ी एक्सपांड किया। हमने काफ़ी सारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के साथ अपना ट्रेड टाइज बनाया, जिनमें से 4 ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस का नाम मैंने यहाँ पे मेंशन किया है। पहला ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है ओपेक कंट्रीज, जो कि मेनली ऑयल एक्सपोर्टिंग कंट्रीज है, जैसे कि कुवैत, सऊदी अरेबिया, ईरान। ठीक है, उसके बाद हमने जितने भी डेवलप्ड कंट्री थे उनके साथ भी अपना ट्रेड टाइज बनाया, और जितने भी डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज थे एशिया और अफ्रीका के, उनके साथ भी अपना ट्रेड टाइज बनाया। उसके बाद जो ईस्टर्न यूरोप है, मेनली जो यूएसएसआर और उसके जो एलाइड कंट्रीज थे, उनके साथ भी हमने अपना ट्रेड बढ़ाया। ठीक है, और एट प्रेजेंट अगर हम अपना फॉरेन ट्रेड देखें तो हमारा जो लार्जेस्ट ट्रेडिंग पार्टनर है वो यूएसए है, फॉलोड बाय चाइना एंड यूएई। और अगर हम अपना एक्सपोर्ट शेयर देखें कि हम सबसे ज़्यादा किस कंट्री को एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं, तो सबसे पहला नंबर में आता है यूएस, दूसरा नंबर में आता है यूएई और तीसरे नंबर पे आता है चाइना। मैंने परसेंटेज दिया हुआ है, पर आप इस परसेंटेज पे पूरी तरीके से रिलाई नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि जो कोरोना वायरस की वजह से इस समय का जो सिचुएशन है उसे हम कुछ कह नहीं सकते कि आगे क्या होगा। तो आप अपने हिसाब से उस परसेंटेज को दीजिएगा। उसके बाद अगर हम इंपोर्ट शेयर पे आ जाते हैं तो हमारा जो सबसे ज़्यादा हम जिस कंट्री से इंपोर्ट करते हैं वो है चाइना, दूसरे नंबर पे है यूएसए और तीसरे नंबर पे है यूएई। ठीक है, उसके बाद जब हम बायलैटरल ट्रेड की बात करें, बायलैटरल ट्रेड मतलब जब 2 कंट्रीज़ के बीच जो ट्रेड होता है उसमें हम यूएसए के साथ सबसे ज़्यादा बेनिफिट रहता है हमें जब हम यूएसए से ट्रेड करते हैं, और हमें सबसे ज़्यादा लॉसेस होता है जब हम चाइना के साथ ट्रेड करते हैं, क्योंकि हम मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द टाइम चाइना से मंगाते हैं और चाइना को कम बेचते हैं, वहीं पे यूएसए को हम ज़्यादा एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं और कम इंपोर्ट करते हैं। ठीक है, तो ये था डायरेक्शन ऑफ ट्रेड। उसके बाद हम बढ़ते हैं कंपोजिशन ऑफ ट्रेड पे। ठीक है, सबसे पहले हम कंपोजिशन ऑफ फॉरेन ट्रेड का मतलब समझते हैं। जितने भी डिफरेंट गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज को इंडिया इंपोर्ट और एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं दूसरे कंट्रीज के साथ, उन सबको इंक्लूड किया जाता है कंपोजिशन ऑफ ट्रेड के अंदर में। उसके बाद आप जितने भी इंपोर्ट कमोडिटीज है उसे जान लेते हैं। अब हम मेनली जो इंपोर्ट करते हैं वो क्रूड पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट्स का इंपोर्ट करते हैं, उसके बाद कैपिटल गुड्स का इंपोर्ट करते हैं और इनऑर्गेनिक एंड ऑर्गेनिक केमिकल्स का इंपोर्ट करते हैं। ठीक है, उसके बाद हम जो एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं दूसरे कंट्रीज़ को, उनमें आता है एग्रीकल्चर और उसके रिलेटेड प्रोडक्ट्स, उसके बाद जेम्स एंड ज्वेलरीज, उसके बाद पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट। अब ये जो पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट है वो फिनिश रिफाइनरीज से आया हुआ पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट्स होता है। उसके बाद अगर हम एट प्रेजेंट की बात करें तो हमारा जो एक्सपोर्ट है वो एग्रीकल्चरल सेक्टर से काफ़ी कम है, और इसके पीछे में 2 इंपॉर्टेंट रीज़न है। वो है डोमेस्टिक कंजम्पशन जो है कंट्री का वो बढ़ा है, उसके बाद हमारा जो डोमेस्टिक इंडस्ट्रीज का जो ग्रोथ है वो भी बढ़ा है। इसके बाद हम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग गुड्स का भी काफ़ी अच्छा एक्सपोर्ट करने लगे हैं एट प्रेजेंट, और इसके पीछे में जो है गवर्नमेंट का काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है, क्योंकि जो मेक इन इंडिया प्रोग्राम गवर्नमेंट ने इंट्रोड्यूस किया है उसका काफ़ी बेनिफिट दिखने वाला है हमें लॉन्ग टर्म में। और हालांकि ये हमें अभी भी दिख ही रहा है, क्योंकि हमारा जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एक्सपोर्ट धीरे ही सही पर ग्रो करने लगा है। ठीक है, और आखिरी में आपको एक एडिशनल इन्फॉर्मेशन की तरह मैं दे दूँ ये कि हमारा जो इंडिया का सबसे लार्जेस्ट कमोडिटी जिसे हम दूसरे कंट्रीज को एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं उस कैटेगरी में आता है जेम्स एंड ज्वेलरीज। ऑलमोस्ट हमारा जो 17% एक्सपोर्ट होता है वो जेम्स एंड ज्वेलरीज के द्वारा ही किया जाता है। तो ये था पूरी